Well, it's the day after Mardi Gras, and that means crews are busy cleaning up from the big party. But now that the party's over, the reality of rebuilding this decimated city resumes. You know, New Orleans neighborhoods are the fabric of that city, and my recent return took me through the most heavily damaged areas, as well as ones that were virtually untouched. Everyone I encountered was affected one way or another by Katrina. But 6 months after the storm, there's still major issues to address before New Orleans can really come back to life.
There's no way around it. The area is known as St. Bernard Parish, and New Orleans' 9th Ward are virtually destroyed. These neighborhoods are the hardest hit sections of the city and probably will have the most difficult time ever returning to their pre-storm conditions. You can literally drive the neighborhood for a mile and not see a soul. The only people I did find this day were Herbert and Clementine Rubin.
I just can't believe the devastation that I've seen. It's just horrendous.
The Rubins are reluctant to return to the city. They believe in New Orleans, but are afraid that flood protection won't be adequate in the future. This is the city's biggest obstacle at the moment.
I'm hesitant about the levees. I truly don't think that they did a good job with that, and so I would not chance that ever again.
But the Army Corps of Engineers has started the short-term solution, placing huge floodgates at the foot of the canal flood walls that broke and flooded the city.
The kids are fine, Mama.
Across town in an area called Gentilly, Elsie and Joanne Trevelyan survey their home. The inside, like thousands of others, have been gutted. They are ready to come back, but the insurance money is slow to come and workers almost impossible to find.
To have the home back fully, I would say probably at least 6 months it'll take, at least, possibly a year.
And then there you can see where the bathroom was. There's my shower. And then beyond that was my study. And then way in the back was the apartment.
Most flooded neighborhoods look like my old one. The water rose slowly, flooding the inside of homes, but not destroying the structures. These areas will come back once homeowners get insurance money and can find labor to do the work.
When the weatherman leaves town, that's it. You know.
My next-door neighbors, Stan and Ann Janke, are already fixing and remodeling their home. They had about 2 feet of water. Stan has lived on this street off and on since Hurricane Betsy in 1965. There's no doubt in his mind that things will turn back around.
Well, as we come into my own backyard, we can tell that there's progress being made. There's a new electrical service to the house, and this wire is all over the place. I imagine you see this in homes all over New Orleans right now, new wiring going in, probably getting some new plumbing too. And as you look inside the house, it's been completely ripped out, the guts of it that is, from all the water that was inside, so there'll be new insulation as well. And there's even new air conditioning going in over here. So clearly a lot of progress is being made. And really what this symbolizes is not about this house, but the city as a whole, that the restoration is underway. And I imagine by the work that they're going to do here, this house will probably end up being a lot nicer than when I owned it.
No other American city has seen such a threat to its very existence in modern times. The good news is that the heart of the city, the French Quarter, downtown, and the Garden District remain intact with little, if any, damage. There is also a perseverance that pervades this entire community.
But New Orleans is coming back, right?
New Orleans will come back because we're not going to let it go down.
And here's the most important point that I want to stress. I would say that most of the areas you would visit as a tourist are not damaged. The floodwaters did not hit the French Quarter, the Garden District, and other areas along the Mississippi River. So while huge swaths of the city remain uninhabitable at this time, the core of the city remains mostly intact. This was New Orleans' strength before the storm, and it will be used as the nucleus from which to rebuild.
David, what about the levees? Do you think they'll ever be reinforced the way they should be?
They really are making unbelievable progress on that, Elliot. In fact, they're about halfway completed to getting them back to pre-Katrina levels, and I really think they are going to have those in shape in 3 months when hurricane season begins.
Let's hope so.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you,
David.
David.